Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. We have a few announcements to make. The first is that there will not be a meeting of the Board of Selectmen on January 22nd. Also, the Rec Committee would like to announce that events that are taking place right now on Sunday evenings from 6 to 9 at Highbridge Hill Elementary School. They have adult pickleball for ages 18 and up, and also adult basketball ages 18 and up are Sunday evenings from 6 to 9 at the Boynton Middle School. So please take advantage of those activities. We're going to be reviewing the final budget numbers this evening. Warrant articles, looking at old and new business, and we have tentatively a non-public session. Any other announcements?
I do. I have an announcement. As much as I've enjoyed being a selectman here in Ipswich, I will be resigning my position as of March 5th will be the last meeting that I will sit in on as a selectman for the town of Ipswich. Why do I announce now, 2 months prior to? Because I want folks that might be interested in running for selectman to realize that there will be a position open for 1 year. And you can sign up for that between February 23rd and March 1st, I believe.
Well,
It's January
23rd
and February 1st.
January 23rd and February 1st.
Yes.
So, thank you very much, but I cannot fulfill my third-year obligation.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
Do you have to accept that, or is that as a board?
We have no choice.
And we could tell them no, but it's
Yeah.
not.
We did ask him to stay on until March, so that we wouldn't have to appoint
I'm
somebody.
just thinking for purposes of the minutes.
No, it's not an appointed position where we would be, it's different. It's an elected position, so.
Well, I think
Unfortunately, he's free to do what he wants.
That's a good thing.
Thank
so
you,
far.
Jay.
You're welcome, Dave.
Kalana has passed out the summary of the budgets. The budget committee has made some revisions. I don't know if you want to address them, or you're just going to wait for the public hearing?
We made specifically 3 revisions. We added back the deputy emergency management position. We felt unanimously that it was a necessary position.
Well, 3 of the 4 of us.
The participating members all agreed that that position should be filled. We also put back the animal control position that the police department requested. The feeling is that police officers shouldn't be shagging dogs, particularly hauling them out to Swansea when there's no other officer on duty, or even when there is. I mean, it's not a police function. It shouldn't be a police function. The effort was made, I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, to look into the animal control officer in Greenville potentially helping out, but she couldn't be contacted. She never returned any phone calls. I understood from the selectmen that alternatives would be pursued, but if there's no funding, there's nothing to pursue. You're gonna have to pay somebody. So we put that position back in the budget. And the third thing we changed was we granted the building permit officer the $500 increase in stipend that he requested based on the increased workload the code efforts, code violation issues, he seems to be increasing. I rewatched the meeting, by the way. And the fact that Lori was pretty much told to limit her support just to very specific actions, because she was essentially trying to do everything for everybody. So I think she will likely be a little less help to him, so we thought he should get the $500
Yeah.
increase.
That wouldn't be the case though, but that's okay.
Other,
Plus, it's a revenue neutral, I mean, they bring in revenue, and
that's right, I'm sorry.
between that and the fact that
Chief House and the ACO.
he's doing the fire inspections.
But he's already been compensated for the fire inspections. You go back to the 2017 budget, the $2,500 that was in the fire department was transferred over to the building department. That's how the stipend went from 8,000 to 10,500.
That's all right.
He specifically asked though why the fire department wasn't.
And I went back to my notes, and matter of fact, it's probably on that spreadsheet that I sent to you.
It must be recorded in some minutes somewhere.
Yes.
I guess we should go back and
Yep.
look at those, but
Yeah.
even so, I just feel that he's, with the, code violation projects that he's got going on and stuff, that, he's doing a lot. And he should get $500 increase.
Mr. Doyle?
You have a question?
Mr. Hopkins,
Sir.
how did you vote on the budget committee's budget? Or were you not part of that vote?
We haven't voted on the budget
I
yet.
didn't ask you.
Yeah, I have not made a vote, yea or nay, on the budget.
Okay. May I ask the town administrator, do you have minutes of the meeting that this discussion took place?
That was at our last meeting.
So you have minutes of the discussion that took place? That Mr. Hopkins was not part of and I was not part of?
Mine.
Wait, may I? There was a budget selectmen meeting last week.
There was a selectman.
Excuse me, let me finish, please.
I was asking the town administrator if she had minutes. She hasn't answered my question yet.
And I'm answering it.
I asked the town administrator.
And I'm answering it. There was a joint meeting that's been posted for the last several weeks with the Budget Committee and the Selectmen, in which we review the budget. If the Budget Committee is having discussions during that meeting, as the Selectmen have discussions, the town administrator's meeting minutes are defining the high points of the meeting. They've approved police budget, whatever. All individual correspondence or whatever is not recorded in minutes. And the town administrator, as you are well aware, Mr. Doyle, is not responsible for the budget committee's sole minutes. That is a task of the budget committee.
Excuse me, now, Mr. Town Administrator, I asked if you had minutes for this because according to the chairman of the budget committee, you were tasked to make and maintain minutes for the budget committee for the season, in spite of what Mr. Lage says. So, do you have minutes of the conversation where the three budget committee members discussed and reported a budget to the selectmen?
I have minutes from
Of that
last
conversation.
week's meeting that are, as, as detailed as they need to be in terms of,
Well, it would seem to me if you didn't get actual minutes of discussion, you certainly would have recorded votes, and there would have been motions who made that motion to vote on an approved budget that was forwarded to the selectmen.
We haven't done that yet.
Then how did the budget committee send you an approved budget?
This is not an approved budget.
And it won't be approved until after
You
the
made
hearing next
changes
week.
to the budget without two of the members present.
No, Jim was here.
I was
last
here.
week. Jim was here last week.
Sir, you
have
haven't
not
participated
participated
in
in
a
any
single meeting.
discussions.
You have not had a meeting.
You've not looked at a
We've
single
had
budget.
joint meetings.
I've looked at every
Okay,
one of them.
okay, I'm gonna cut this conversation real short.
Okay.
The budget committee has been here. They've been doing their due diligence with the select board. You've been here, you have not participated.
There's-
By your choice. By your choice.
No,
So-
there has been nothing to participate in.
There,
First, according to the RSAs,
Mhm.
he has to have a meeting. You have no authority to have a meeting. RSA 32-2 allows you no authority to create a budget at all.
all right, we're going to kindly agree to disagree, and we're going to move on from that subject. We'll continue on with the business at hand, but if you have any objections with how
I will
we,
forward my objections to the chairman of the budget committee, and I have asked him numerous times if he was going to have a single meeting this year, and it has been rejected each time.
It
What
has
do you-
not been rejected. You asked me twice over the weekend.
And I asked you,
And
and
I
you
haven't
said we don't
scheduled it
need one.
yet because of Jim Hicks' personal situation. Until I find out what we need to complete and I contact Jim and find out his availability, I won't be creating it. And I told you that.
So
in the
you're
email you got
talking
yesterday.
about finalizing a budget, but you
No.
finalized your version last week, didn't you?
the selectmen did,
And
Yes.
sent
Did you
it
hear
to
them
Lenny.
vote
and
on
sent
it?
it to the budget.
So
Did
why
you
are you
hear them vote on
finalizing
it?
tonight?
Did you hear them vote on it? Their budget?
They have no vote.
No, but on what
Neither
they
do we.
submitted. Yeah, neither did we.
We haven't
We haven't
had a
voted yet.
vote yet.
We don't have a final budget. This is a work in progress.
Did you note that he left the meeting?
Who's,
We'll move on.
expecting that?
The,
Really? You weren't expecting that? Come on.
No, I said we were-
oh, you
Oh, you were, all right.
Before we get to warrant articles, just at the budget committees on board is, I've asked Colada to come up with a default budget, because that should also be presented at the, budget hearing, so they'll go through the budget and take out those one-time costs and come up with that. I'm presuming that the budget committee would do the same thing, but if not, we need to do it.
Oh, that's fine.
And I'm assuming Article 3 will just be changed to whatever it's.
Right. We haven't done to the warrant.
Well, no, I just happened, just because you mentioned it, that,
It'll be changed to their number.
okay, whatever,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the budget for a second?
Sure.
I sent you an email when we were reviewing the budgets that you had taken out $24.50 from the police
Yes,
computer line.
yep, yep.
And in reality, that wasn't the computers, that
Mhm.
line was for the spots and crime stops.
Yep.
Did you?
I followed that,
Okay.
Yep.
Because that, we put that back in.
yeah, I saw
We
that.
took the $24.50 out of the.
Right, and I was
equipment line.
trying to figure out why there was still $250, and I did the math and figured it out, so we're good. The green helped a lot.
You wouldn't have found it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's doing this.
Well, we have, the FICA wasn't put in back in, FICA and Medicare for the building permit position. I thought stipends weren't subject to FICA Medicare, that's not true, it's a salary, it's,
It's a,
Wages.
yeah, it's what it
it's
is.
wages.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting that back in, raising it to the $11,000.
If you go to the page that was titled Land Use, Assessors Land Use,
Yeah,
Building Permit Officer,
yeah.
go over the notes on the right-hand side.
Oh, 25K for fire inspections.
I think this, I mean, but my recollection, not having minutes or watched the meeting again, I seem to recall that the building inspector said something about that it wasn't,
He definitely did.
the money
He,
wasn't there?
I,
I don't know.
no, he asked this question, and in my mind, I'm saying, I'm almost positive we'd shifted that money. But I didn't say anything because I didn't have this in front of me.
Mhm.
And when I went home and looked it up, and I'm saying, oh, it was there. That's when the money. And so I went back and
And I'm not arguing that point,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, was there a follow-up in terms of maybe the actual, did the is it the treasurer that would make those changes? In, like shifting the funds, or?
What happens is there's a paperwork process, Joanne would have filled
Like a
out
follow-up, yeah.
a stipend, whenever there's an adjustment in anybody's stipend or salary or whatever,
Mhm.
comes back to the Board of Selectmen to sign off on. So that would have happened, and trust me, if he wasn't getting his full stipend, we would have,
Known about it.
yeah.
So this was added to his stipend?
Yeah, if you look over there, the stipend at the time in 2017 was $8,000.
It says 10.5 in this one.
No,
Yeah.
look at the note though on the right. That's how I try and keep track of notes to say, well, how did I get from A to B?
2017
Yeah.
budget based on 8K. for the-
8K,
Plus 2.5.
yeah.
So how do you
Yeah.
feel? You can't just be handing money
I understand
It,
that.
I'm not looking for an answer
Yeah.
for you
No,
to do
I-
anything, I'm just saying, this is why we had left it.
No,
where it
well,
was.
that's,
And with only two
good
present.
information.
With
Right.
only-
We can discuss
Yeah.
the next.
You wanna do warrant articles?
Sure.
Just to make sure we get it then. Let's speak about the first one, Article 1, which was the bonding for the police station, and Carlotta was kind enough to forward that report, which I'm trying to find here. That
I'm
says
sorry, I
budget.
didn't print those out.
That's okay. Maybe it's this one.
I'll just look on John's phone.
Oh, I'm gonna send. Let me go to inbox.
Which one do you want us to look at?
On this budget.
Well, I wanna have that discussion on, come on, open up. Here we go. Okay. Okay. With the
Which one do you have open right now?
The one that I have open now is the 700,000 bonding at 4%,
Is it the 15-year,
and it is for the 20-year.
20-year?
So when you look at that, the effect that it would have on the tax rate is starts the first year at 17 cents, and by the 20th year drops down to 9 cents.
So on 100,000, look at $1.70.
So on a $100,000 home, yeah,
Looking at $1.70.
I might think it's $17.
100 times 0.17, move the decimal over to
Twice,
$17.
$17. Yeah.
I need one.
If we,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I don't, I guess you must have asked one for 900. I'm gonna skip the 900.
Well, at one point you were talking about 1.4, like getting,
Oh, that was prior to getting to the
So-
final estimate.
okay.
Yeah, okay. Then we have one which is the 15-year bond for the same 700,000, drops the interest cost down to 3.75, and that has an impact of 20 cents the first year, and ends up at 12 cents per thousand after 15.
Nice big numbers. Yeah. That's what I need. Did you do a 10 by chance?
Yes.
And that is 3.5.
The 10-year drops down to 3.5%, and it's 25 cents the first year and 19 cents.
No,
5%.
3.5%
Yeah.
is the interest rate.
Sorry.
The tax impact is 25 cents per thousand the first year, and it drops down to 19 cents per thousand on the 10th year.
Thank you, John.
It was weird, the way they lined up, it went, for all of a sudden, this one, it switched over. We
Oh.
put the 900, I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, I keep watching over here, make sure I'm
Yeah.
not. So, so what's your thought?
So,
The other thing to look at is on a 10-year, remember that one, on the 10-year bond, our total payments would be $837,131 roughly. And jumping that to 15 years, just under 908,000.
20 drop, it jumps all the way to $997,000 for the 20 year.
Yeah, that's why I'm not even,
997?
unless you
No,
guys are entertaining the
No,
20 year.
but it's
I'm
almost
not even-
990, it's just under $997,000
Yeah,
in total payments. I'll be honest, I understand that a 10-year is a bigger hit but to pay that off in 10 years without a huge impact and pay only paying only $137,000 in interest, I would like to go for the 10-year personally.
that's what my thought is when I look at paying another 70 some odd $1,000 in interest to get another 5 years out of it, it's peanuts on the tax rate. And I'm
Right.
sure, 12 cents or 20 cents, I'm actually looking at the 15, let me get back to
Yeah,
the
so
10.
it's 5 cents different.
Yeah, it's 10 year. Yeah, just,
Well, I know it's a necessity and I wanna keep costs as minimal as we can, so I'm okay with a 10-year.
yeah, that's the most
Yeah,
minimal we can
most-
get.
Right, no, but I'm thinking tax dollars, it's gonna cost us all some money to do, but, for what we're gonna get for an extra 25,
Yeah, the worst hit is just the first year, it's a quarter, it goes down to 24, 23, 22, 22, 21, 20, 20, 19, and 19. So, at, $200,000 home, it's
Mhm.
$50
For the year.
for the year,
right,
yeah,
I'm
so,
good with a 10-year.
I am as well.
you good? Okay.
Right now, the way the warrant article's written is that you have the right to issue and
Negotiate, right, sure.
And I need to run this article by like the bond bank.
Yeah,
And make
yeah.
sure that they're,
I was gonna say, you did a darn good job with the wording.
well, I just copied in other towns.
Why reinvent the wheel, right?
So I mean, you may very well present the 10-year at the hearing and at the deliberative session. I'm just not sure the language will be in here committing you to that.
Right, and I don't think it needs to be. I think when we present it, we can do it that way. Now, when you speak to the people at the bond bank, ask them, my only question was this:
Okay.
does the interest need to be added into our pricing for the bond?
think so, but I'll ask.
Just,
yeah.
that's the only,
Okay, and the other
Yeah.
thing I wanted to let you know is when I was on their website looking around, you had asked the question about prepayment,
Mhm.
and they had that under their frequently asked questions, and it said they don't allow prepayment.
so whatever you take it for, that's what it would go to.
No reason to go 10.
Yeah. I think what it is you pay it off, but you have to pay the interest. Cause I think when I was working for
That's
the,
what they sold.
That's how they-
it.
that's what they
That's how
sold
they
it, cause,
Yeah.
when I did the tan for the town, I wrote up the loan for that. And even if the town had paid it off, sure, it was, this is what you're loaned out,
Yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
you're paying back.
They're using that money to invest in other.
Right, yeah, cause that's
Right.
exactly what they do,
Right.
they then take that money and,
The investors buy the bonds,
Yeah.
and they're
They-
promised a return.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I used to do at the bank, is I would sit there and find all the towns that were looking for money. Yeah. That was like,
Hey, we can
I'm like, hey,
float you along.
yeah, I got some guys with some money. Yeah, one of the banks down in Boston, bunch of guys sitting around table. We presented.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
I had 100% closure rate on my loans. No, but
Good job.
yeah, it was a nice job.
so on Article 3, we'll change that to whatever the budget committee comes back with on there.
I'm gonna fix my numbering there, I've got 2 3s now.
Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got a couple 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any zoning articles, is that?
Well, there are,
I was told there's one.
yeah, there's,
The reason I'm asking is they're gonna change the order of these?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I don't know about the order, but I wrote at the top, note, article numbers are subject to change prior to posting the warrant. So,
but,
I should.
by the RSA, what she has here now so far is correct. You have to do the bond vote,
Officers.
the officers, and then zoning, and after that, those are the ones that we can move around.
I just remember one year, somebody went out and had signs printed and said, vote yes on Article 19 and Article
was
19.
different.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah, probably wait till you make your sign.
Okay, Article 4, and Article 5, the ones for the roads.
And 6.
And 6.
Oh, I'm gonna redo
For
my
Article
numbers.
3, these
Five.
warrant articles have to be reviewed at the budget hearing, don't they?
Which ones?
The warrant articles at the budget hearing.
Yes,
So our figure need to be nailed down by then,
yes.
before then.
You're talking your figure for Article 4.
Article 3, the budget.
Okay, that's one we just crossed out and changed it to 4, because there were 2 3s.
Yeah.
But that's okay, I'm following right along. But, yes, and we need that before that, because we
Right.
print it up and have the handouts.
For the deliberative, yeah.
What did I leave off on 6? My only,
But it's still subject to change that night.
Correct.
For the deliberative?
Yeah.
At the budget.
only by the budget committee, you can make a revision.
Right,
The voters can make a revision at the deliberative section.
right.
So, yeah, so the budget,
But they could come and argue,
Oh, yeah,
and very well may.
persuade you. They may persuade you.
yeah, yes, at the budget hearing, yeah.
We're not required to give them an answer on the spot, are
No, but
we?
they'll
We may
probably,
need to deliberate after the deliberative.
Right. You mean before the deliberative?
Both.
well,
Right.
you, the deliberative session's different than the budget hearing.
Right. The hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And that's why I keep saying deliberative, and I'm like, and that's why I'm saying, no, you can't, and
The
you,
hearing is for them, us to gather their
Right.
feedback,
Right,
Right.
and then at the deliberative session,
that's it.
they can change.
they can change
To a
we can
certain
amend the
extent.
budget.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
At the budget hearing, the budget committee can make the changes. At the deliberative session, the voters.
But we're not required to make them on the spot based on
You're not required, no,
a
but,
rowdy crowd.
no, but they're gonna hassle you, they're gonna hassle you until you get an answer. We may have witnessed that once or twice. Yeah, so 5, 6, and 7 are for the roads.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8.
So the bond doesn't, how's the bond impact the warrant article totals? Is it added in? You know how we report
There
forty
is-
thousand, 85,000, 600,000?
There's no principal or interest, that would be owed in 2019.
Might be in 2020 is the first payment.
So it doesn't impact the dollar value of the warrant articles, is that what you're saying?
That 10%,
Total of the 10%.
you know, where we approve the warrant articles and
Yeah,
then.
let me just
yeah.
think of this one here a second. So if budget committee didn't approve, I'm not sure, but my rationalizing is telling me that a bond vote is separate
Sure.
from the others, and primarily because a bond vote requires 3/5 majority, or 2/3, however,
350.
3/5, yeah. I think that's the difference between the SB2 and the, whatever they call the other one, traditional town meeting. There is a number for that, isn't it? SB 55 or something? Yeah. I was just checking the math here that the warrant article 8 added up to the 215.5, which it appears it does. Article 9, which is for the ambulance services. Article 10 is the light. While we're going through these, do we wanna be adding on, Board of Selectmen's recommendations?
We can, we might as well,
We
because,
need to?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, could these change at the budget hearing? No, no, because these are yours.
No, nope, anything can be changed. You can't change the intent, but the
Right.
dollar values could change.
The question was at the budget hearing. I know you can do it at the deliberative.
Did you say budget hearing?
Hmm,
Yeah.
No, at the budget hearing they can't,
no.
but at the deliberative session they can.
Right.
Yeah.
In which case you could change your recommendation
Yeah,
afterward.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
The
Article
recommendation is for the deliberative session, so,
actually,
for the vote.
for the vote.
and the.
Yeah.
well, and the vote.
Article 1.
I'm in
All in
favor.
favor?
Yes.
Aye, it's unanimous. Article 4, we'll have to wait to see what the budget committee comes back with.
Yep.
Article 5,
Yes.
Yes,
yes. Article 6,
Yes.
yes.
yes. Article 7,
Yes.
yes.
Well, is Appleton Road in this list of roads?
No, that's like the last.
So these total 7,
Matter of fact, let's make a serious point to
Right,
discuss
it's on
after
the, it's on the
this.
agenda.
so it's 750,000 for road.
No,
250.
600. 600.
Yeah,
The
'cause that-
150 is the highway block grant.
That's state money that's
That's
given back.
the money that we get
Oh,
from the rooms and
okay.
meals tax.
Block grant.
Yeah.
not to be raised to 10.
And if you ever get spare time, can you find out if that has to be put on a warrant? We do that, and I've always wondered.
That came up a couple years ago, and that's one of those ones Benty always gets up and talks about. And I think it's really what it comes down to is, they're gonna say here, take it. If we don't vote to yes, take it, we can't use it.
Right. Well, when I worked in Ringe, it was in the operating budget. Because
Really?
it was
So
an
they just-
every year kind of thing.
Right, just a revenue thing.
So if
But
you
then
put
if
the
you're-
money into the operating budget,
And your budget gets voted down.
now I'm thinking if your budget gets voted, you've raised and appropriated.
Yeah.
Right. So, right, and then your revenue's offset, but you're taxing them for 150,000 extra.
That's how
Right.
I, yeah.
Let's leave it at a warrant article.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd
you're
like-
not, because when you go to set your tax rate in October, they plug in your revenue number right then and there. It's a wash.
Okay.
How do you explain that to the public?
I'd leave it the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what it is it the way it was
Just to
explained.
see it, just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that, like I said, the way
You know what, it gets confusing, and that's one of the ones where at first I'm saying, okay, put this at number 1, the other one at number 9.
Right.
yeah.
But, because people
Whatever
always
we send out
ask
not to be raised by taxation, we're good with that.
me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Except that you
Right,
still have,
and
but
rightfully
except
so, that's
yeah.
what most people look and see that.
Yeah, but except you have those people that vote no down the line.
Well, yeah, well,
So,
you can have
but
a couple hundred of them in Ipswich for the next 50 years anyway,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, I'm not sure I love the language of that. There might be a way to make it sound, like, it says, and to meet said appropriation with anticipated funds from a New Hampshire Department of Transportation block grant.
Yeah.
I
I
might
would
say
say-
something like that, to be offset by funds from the state of New Hampshire.
or something to accept the highway block grant.
Right, that's the way it's
Yeah.
always been read,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
accept the 150,000 from the state for the highway block grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little wordy.
Thing
Well-
is that this is how it's always been worded.
well, I think, as Carlotta just
Yeah.
explained, is whether we put the money into the budget and then take the revenue when it comes from the state. If we put it as a warrant article, we have to say we are raising and appropriating.
Yeah.
It's whether you put it in a warrant article, you put it in the budget. I guess now I can understand Carlotta's point is you could just put it right in the budget,
Yeah.
and then that would eliminate the warrant article. Probably for the first year would raise the question, how come the,
Why the budget?
yeah,
Yeah.
why did the budget go up $150,000?
Well, we can look at that next year. I mean, unless we want to do it, we'd have to make the change today.
No, I think I'd
you
have a
wanna
very
leave it in-
difficult
I
time
think you wanna leave it in the warrant.
explaining it, yeah.
Yeah.
This way here, it's money in, money out.
Yeah.
Right. And when you explain it that way, even I can understand it.
You can kick the can down the road.
Yeah. So we at number 8.
8, yes, which is the capital reserve and expendable trust account. I'm okay with that.
I'm good.
Well, there were some numbers that, there were some numbers that I didn't approve, but overall, I'm okay with the article. So, yeah, I'm all right.
Number 9 is the ambulance service.
Yes.
Yes,
Number 10 is the library.
No.
no.
Yes.
Do you wanna move that closer to the bottom, to the end?
Why?
Because they get cut off automatically if they exceed the 10%.
Of your recommendations.
I really doubt that that's ever going to come into play here.
I don't know.
But actually, I did. It should be 1, 2. That's
Yeah.
2 no's, 1 yes.
Yeah. So not.
So if it's
So-
2 to 1, then
It's
it's not
no-
supported. by
It's
the
not
board.
supported
Not
1 to 2.
supported.
Because you don't put tally votes in your.
Yeah.
We do.
At the
You
bottom.
do
Well, of course we do.
Put tally votes?
Oh, yeah.
I don't recall
Okay.
seeing those.
Yeah, they're at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh, they're at the bottom.
So at the bottom of each warrant article, it says what the budget committee voted and what the selectmen voted, recommended, not recommended.
Oh, great.
but it doesn't say.
Yeah.
And maybe this year we might put your name there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I asked
What the
the
heck, what are they
question.
gonna do to me? Fire me?
Do we need to, you know?
I'm done.
But 2-1 is recommended.
So like this would say the recommended, but it would
Oh,
say,
I thought
it
it
would
was the
say,
other way
Yeah.
it would say not, instead of recommend, it would say not
Not
recommended by the
Yeah.
selectmen, 1, 2.
1, 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Not recommended. I always hate those double negatives because it gets really confusing.
Not.
Not recommended, 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Assessed values. Okay, Article 11 is for the ERA
Assessing.
assessment.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 12.
Yes.
Well, I'm reading it, to see if the town will vote to name the selectmen as agents to extend from the capital reserve fund to maintain, I'm okay with that, but, and replace the recreation department pool,
So
so,
the reason I did that is because the DRA sent us some paperwork that shows what articles have been passed in the town and what funds have been created, and that's what they call it.
But it makes it difficult to understand what it is.
We're gonna replace the pool?
That's
Well,
how you would read it,
That's
right?
what I'm
First
reading.
read
That's-
And,
What do you mean, you're replacing the damn
well,
pool?
another thing, Pat, that I'm concerned with is you could get a board of selectmen that says, hey, you know what, we need a new pool. And seriously, they could put in a new pool, but if it's to maintain, then you don't have an option, all you can do is maintain, so I don't know if I like to see that.
I'm gonna go back to the original warrant article, which was.
Could I make a suggestion? Is that it reads, selectmen as agents to expend from the capital reserve fund entitled,
Entitled, okay,
titled,
yeah,
and then put
whatever it's titled.
quote marks, so that they know the name of the capital reserve fund is maintain and replace the recreation department pool.
It is?
That's what the name of it is. That's what the name of it is.
That's terrible.
That's, I agree.
Yeah,
Oh.
Because entitled, I mean,
no, it should be titled.
titled, yeah.
Who can change the name? That's
Well, the change shouldn't be,
The
Well,
warrant article.
we need
is
another warrant
established.
article.
Yeah.
it shouldn't say 2.
Can't you add it into this
From capital reserve fund, maintain and replace the recreation
Expend
department.
from the capital reserve fund.
and change the name?
Well, they're gonna say expend from the capital reserve fund titled, maintain. So 2 is gonna be changed to the word titled.
Yeah, okay.
And then just put some quotes.
I'm hung up on, board of selectmen deciding to replace the pool.
Well, first of all, you're gonna need enough money in there to do that, and there's not enough money in there to do that.
Instead of quotes, you could, the title or something is usually like italics or
Yeah.
underlined.
But yes,
No.
Yes.
2-1.
2-1. Votes in favor.
Is 13 a yes, did you say?
Well, we weren't there yet.
We're just there now.
So did you go yes on Article 12?
He said no.
He said no.
I think
I'm a
you're
yes.
missing-
I'm
you're
a yes
missing
on 13.
wording. Or are you not?
Right, I'll change it so it's exactly the same for Article 13.
I'm in favor of 13.
I am.
Yes.
Number 14 is for turnout gear.
I see a mistake here. So Meredith wanted to change it to 8,004, and I changed the number but not the word. So
The 8004. To
So-
change it to what?
It says turnout gear for the fire department and to authorize the withdrawal of, and the word says 10, but it's supposed to
Oh.
be 8.
Okay.
So,
Oh, so it's,
Says
So
right
it's-
here.
Well, here, the second one
Right.
says,
Oh.
oh, so it's 4 sets of turnout gear for $8,000.
yeah.
yes.
Okay. I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. So each set of gear is $2,000.
Yeah.
For a full set, yeah. It's fire resistant.
So what? Yes. 15 is the social services.
Yes.
Yes.
16 is, on 16, this is the one,
I don't know.
I think we should, but I'm just wondering, should we, rather than discontinue it and put the money into general fund, should we consider renaming it to a fund that could be added to for the 300th?
I would be more in favor of doing that
Yes.
than to put it in the general fund.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would be
I was all good until it said to put in the
Right.
general fund.
Yeah.
I'm opposed to that.
Because as we're talking about trying to do
Could-
something to beautify the town,
Right.
I mean, this is something we could have drawn out of, I mean, not that, but if it was for a town beautification fund, that's something that the planters could have been used for that.
Yeah.
Anything like that, so I would be fine into renaming it,
Do you wanna do it for something like that?
yeah, I would say
versus-
like a town beautification fund.
Okay,
Well, I know we've heard talk of having a Founder's Day or whatever sort of function happen. I know it never grew legs, but do we do something like that? Is this what, $6,000? You can buy a lot of flower
how
pots.
much is it?
I think it's, was it 6?
I don't recall. But I believe that
Maybe here.
you need 2/3 to change the purpose and a simple majority to do this. I'm not certain, but that's my recollection.
Yeah, but I don't want, I can't, I wouldn't agree to put it in the.
6625.
Okay.
How much is it?
6625.
Yeah, that's a lot of money to buy flowers.
No, but I mean, it could have been like.
We
I
spoke
mean,
about trying to do historic district lights or something, that could have been,
Yeah, because like if we wanted to do a certain number of lights
I
and
wouldn't be
hang over,
opposed to that. It's just
Or-
how do we word it so that it's,
or a gazebo or whatever we thought about, band shell type thing, or so I would just I don't want to say let's put it for the 300th or let's put it for the but if we taught town beautification or something to that effect, I would be
okay.
I don't know if the
And I
word
agree
is-
with that, but if we do something like that, how do we then define what,
Exactly,
It's
that's why I'm
used for.
struggling with the
Yeah.
beautification thing.
Yeah.
well, I think you have
I
to
don't know.
I think you have to hope that people are the board says, well, I want to do this. Oh.
That's not really what it's for.
Yeah, that's not really what it's for, you know, it was in, the intention is for, you
How
know,
could you word it? It's for,
because I also don't want to restrict where in the town it can be used, so I don't want to call it like the town historical district fund,
Yeah.
or-
right.
Right.
because then you can't put something, then we couldn't have used it on the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
I know how you word it. I just think beautification kind of vague, but
Enhancement.
I don't have anything else.
Enhancement,
Excuse me?
if
Yeah,
it's a
right.
matter of a word,
Community enhancement fund.
yeah,
I'm okay with that, because then you can justify a streetlight, or you could justify a gazebo, where if you put beautification and you buy a streetlight, somebody's gonna say, I think streetlights are ugly. So,
Community enhancement fund,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
community or town,
town.
town enhancement.
Town enhancement fund, I'm fine, yeah.
So if by chance this does require 2/3 to convert the purpose of the fund,
Yeah,
would you consider having a second article?
no, next year.
Yeah, just leave it, let it
If it
sit,
doesn't
Right, 'cause
fly
then
this
it'll
year, we'll
just
do it
stay-
next year.
Oh, okay.
It'll just
Yeah.
stay where it is.
Okay.
in
it'll
that
sit
case.
and make more money.
Okay.
So what are you changing that to?
See if the town will vote to change
It would
the
remain
expensive
expendable.
trust fund for the anticipated expense of 250 celebration to a town enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we shy away from community, because it's all.
I don't care how you do it, I just,
Yeah.
community,
I like community. I'm sorry.
I like town.
See, I thought the community is the people.
No. However, I won't split hairs. I don't mean to be difficult
Town
in the
enhancement.
brief time I have left.
Don't stop now, come on.
Town enhancement expendable
Trust.
Right, yeah, definitely believe it as an expendable, yeah.
trust fund with the Board of Selectmen as agents to expend.
Don't you have to define town enhancement? Don't you have to give a purpose?
If somebody asks, we certainly can, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Are you asking?
Well,
Well, I'm saying that normally, like, it should have a purpose.
it is to
Like,
enhance
It
the
is
town.
to enhance the town.
But if somebody comes before the board and says, hey, I'd like to
So
see
you
it,
don't have to
I'd like to see some,
give any kind of,
Because the more definition you put it, the less you can use it for.
right,
right,
yeah.
well, I'm just saying.
Because I mean that's it's like the thing, you know, the fire department, we had the issue and we went through it and we found out what they can and can't use their expendable trust for.
Right.
And they thought they couldn't spend it on something, we found out they could. But for years someone had told them they couldn't, we looked back at the use and went, there's no restrictions.
Right,
So the more restrictions you put on something, the but that's why we just told David I didn't want to say the historical or this because then people go, well, that means you can use it from Main Street to Banky Village.
Right.
You know, well,
Can't use it on Hubbard
you
Pond.
can't use it.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have been. Like I said, it would have been a great place to take the money to when we buy the planters for the bridge. If we need to replace those, it's nice for the planters on the bridge. If we want someone wants to do some, you know, we have that option. But the more restrictions or more definition you put into it, you're gonna all of a sudden people go, well, you can't do that, you can't do that. So this, if we leave it broad, enhancing the town, then there's all sorts of things we can do with it.
Which is positive,
yeah,
you know, this.
yeah, it is. I'm just-
Cemetery project.
So I looked back at that email from Dee,
Mhm.
and it was asking the selectmen to approve a withdrawal from the cemetery funds. And
It's not our call.
yeah,
But I thought, first of all, did you find that email John
I did, I
sent
sent
to you with the
yeah, I sent-
value?
Yep, I had it last week. And,
What was the value on that?
it's not even 10. It's like $8,000. Give me a second. I'll go back and find it again.
What's that in reference to?
The
The
engineering.
Cost to do the engineering that we walked the cemetery for that bulk area.
Right, okay.
What I don't have with me this evening, I don't know if you guys have it, is to know how much money is in those cemetery.
It should be in
Is it
there.
in the trust?
so I printed that stuff off, it's in the other office. I can
No, I
go.
think it's right here. Cemetery expendable trust. Cemetery, oh, I got cemetery expansion.
Yeah, the cemetery expansion. Don't have the.
Is that the CIP worksheet or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be looking at the CIP. I'm
No,
talking
no, I
about
was looking
No,
for the.
hang on, I got it.
Yeah, no, this one.
I say that.
No, the cemetery isn't on that
It's
one.
not on that one. Aye. The rest of them are.
Yeah, so I will go
You
get
do
what
that
I
on purpose?
printed.
Yeah, thank you. While she does that, I'm gonna excuse myself.
$7,750.
With what?
That's
the
That's the
engineer?
value.
That's
Yeah.
the value of Ed's.
Well, I think, yes, because it's, needs to go forward, and the only way it can go forward is with wheels under it, so.
Yeah. But again, I thought that was an expendable that the
It
trustees.
should be, right, it
that
should,
under the trustees.
yes, yep. Unless they're not wanting to spend their money, and, you know, what I mean, it's always nice to hang on to it, kinda like the library thing, so.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if it's in there,
'Cause
expendable
that's-
trust, then-
Yeah, because that's not even one we put money into.
no, that's money generated off of lots and money's invested. thought household hazardous waste was in the budget. Next one, $4,500 or something. And then, yeah, not budget, landfill budget.
That's deep, it's actually Public Works. He put everything in the one,
Right, he did. Makes it simple for us.
yeah, DPW.
Excuse me. Transfer station. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Yeah, I think it was a warrant article last year.
Yeah, I think it's been worn out right along, but the question was raised, so I figured maybe he did.
No, because I think I remember looking in the back of the budget and we actually overspent it, which we can't do. It's one of those ones that was marked as overspent. You can't overspend it.
No. Not supposed to.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that was marked wrong.
I couldn't find it, which means must be in here. Aha. I think it's in this folder. There we go.
Yeah. It was Article 14 last year.
So, these are all of the funds that the trustees see, and
Is this the only copy?
yeah.
Or do they have?
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Uh,
But like we said, the cemetery, that's, I thought we'd authorize them to go ahead and withdraw from theirs, or told them it's up to them to use their money. So I don't think we need to raise it by taxation.
Well, that's well and fine as long as the money is there, like this one here is all perpetual care. Perpetual care. Perpetual care.
Well-
Cemetery.
Well, they,
Smith Cemetery, New Ipswich Cemetery, so that must be for Center Cemetery.
yeah,
It says it's got 127,000.
Yeah.
I think they have enough money.
yeah. Yeah, they can, and the other one's what, 64?
14.
14.
14.
Yeah. But yeah, they can,
So they just need to go to the trustees of the trust fund and say, hey, we'd like 8,000 or whatever it is for
So
an
Yeah.
that
annual
doesn't
cost.
need to be on the warrant,
No,
Correct.
that's the,
and draw a line through that one.
take it off.
So now 17, which was 18, is now 17.
yeah,
Back on track. Budget Advisory Committee.
yep.
Yes, of course.
I just need to find the right language for that.
You go
It's somewhere,
back. We
yeah,
have,
go back about 4
uh,
years.
So what is, I'm sorry, 17, the cemetery?
It's gone.
It's gone.
Gone.
Wait.
I want to say probably about 2004, 2005.
Right, yeah, because we haven't,
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's when we did the budget committee.
right,
No.
budget advisory.
No.
Oh, budget advisor?
FAC. Finance.
Finance
Advisory?
It's
Right,
either a
finance,
Finance
yeah.
Advisory Committee or a Budget
Th-
Committee.
That's only as long as it had been in since 2004?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was when Susan Schaefer Meisner may have. Pretty sure. If not, I'm wrong.
I didn't realize it was that, I mean, I realized that's
Yeah.
15 years, but I didn't realize it was that new. I thought it was
Yeah.
kind of,
Household hazardous waste, or is this in the budget?
it's not in the budget.
We will,
And it was Article 14 last year. Now, the problem is he didn't give us a number on it.
see, and my,
And-
We did get something from the city of Keene,
Okay,
asking if we were gonna participate, and I know Peter saw it,
yeah.
and
It's an out, we need to do it, otherwise you don't know where that material goes.
Yeah. So
I'd just be interested, you know, if there's a way of following up with Keen. By the way, how many people actually come out?
Right, and that was my
Yeah.
thoughts,
Yeah.
David. If we're spending 4,500 or 5,000, you got 2 people using it,
Yeah,
then maybe we should have our own hazardous waste day. It just,
I went once.
yeah.
okay.
Well, and that was my whole thing that I
Right.
took, that I was gonna vote against it, cause I told Peter, I'm like, it's great, but it's not promoted, it wasn't on the sign, it
Mhm.
wasn't, you know, it need, you know, you put it on the website once, and all of a sudden more important things come up, and whoop, there it is, it's off the page.
I mean, it's gotta
I don't even
be,
understand it. Do you have to go to Keene to
Yes.
put
Yes.
stuff up?
Yes.
How good is that?
because it's hazardous material and there's
Right.
no place else to drop it off.
we don't want you throwing your plutonium off of Manly,
Yeah.
you know?
Waterloon Pond.
Just,
Well, but I would agree that we should find out how much.
Right, what do we,
How
what do
many
we,
Yeah.
people are going there from here?
I'll see if they.
But I gotta say, if it's 2,
true, it's
Yeah.
better than, yeah.
it's well worth
and
it.
there's like,
Because
and
you know
there's
what it
4.
would cost, just think about it.
Right,
Simple thing is gasoline.
right.
Somebody says, I have no place to dump this, they come and dump it on our front lawn.
Right.
What's it gonna cost us to,
Motor oil,
Mediate
anti-
that.
Yeah, I mean, antifreeze, any of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Paint's a big one, everyone, that's the one I know a lot of people got rid of, cause you gotta get rid of all the, you know, you got all this old paint, you got them in 5-gallon buckets, and they've been sitting out in your garage.
oh, they turned me away when I did that.
Up in Keene?
But would.
When we had it here in New Ipswich, because
is
they
there an
said if it's
alternative that you
paint,
have something once a year or something?
that's what it,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta
What
put, you
this
can put kitty
is-
litter in it,
Come
throw it
here,
away.
that you come to the,
in the
Well, we-
past, we've looked at what that cost was to have somebody come here and run that,
yeah,
and it was more economical to
go to.
do it with Keene, because Keene had it on, I think it was like 4 times a
Yeah,
year.
it's like 4 times a year, and you don't have to have a dump sticker to do it. Anyone can go.
Yeah.
So
At
even
least
if you're
4
not a participant
least
in
4
the
times
in
a
the
year.
town dump.
And we did do it here, actually, at the landfill. We did
Yeah.
have a hazardous waste collection day. And
Yeah.
you're right, it was, the cost was crazy. It's like, you know what,
Wait a
they'll
minute,
just,
was
they'll
it
take it.
here,
We'll just-
or what? No, the one I'm thinking that I got turned around on was Peterborough. And what they were saying was, oh, that's latex paint, you just put sawdust in
kitty
there
litter
and you
to
can
it.
throw it
Yeah,
away.
Dry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so.
Leave the cover off. It's- yeah.
The state, I believe, used to offer grants to municipalities to do those, and then that money just dried up, and so everyone started.
I'm in favor of it. We just need to
Yeah.
find the dollar
Yeah.
Well,
number.
can we use last year's dollar amount? What,
It went up. I do remember it went up.
I'll
how
find
come we
the
don't,
paper.
how come we don't have a number?
I can,
Sure we don't have a number, huh?
I can go look for the paper if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put a number in it and then it's done.
It wasn't in his backup?
No.
That's what I'm looking
No, it
for.
was a letter that came from Keene to the board.
Let me just see if I can find it quickly.
There's gonna be another warrant article we'll add on here, can we? I think we can.
We want an warrant article
This
for
is
what?
the last date, right? The last date for him, isn't it?
But petition warrant articles,
Oh,
the board of selectmen can,
oh, I don't know, those things are right up there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
let me
no-
get a little closer.
There's no backup,
Yeah.
nothing. He guess he didn't have,
Yeah, but I said that was one of the ones I thought was funny because it showed in the budget that we overspent. And I'm like,
yeah,
if you can't-
somebody applied something to it that shouldn't have been applied to it.
Yes.
No, it's not in his budget.
Yeah.
DPW warrant transfer.
Yeah, there must have been another one
Did you
between.
have that the same police article thing on the warrant in 2017?
A different one,
Different one, but
yes,
there was one
but we
there.
did have one.
It's about the same amount though, isn't it?
Now it was 2 point,
Oh,
One, I believe.
1.98 million.
Yeah.
okay.
So we voted in 3,917, someone said we spent 4,753.
Can't, yeah, right.
Person raise. Give that person a raise.
Right, yeah, yeah. Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Article 5, the block grant,
Yeah.
there's 150,000 in the warrant article. In the spreadsheet, there's 152,889. Do you know where that comes from?
It's on my spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It's from the state.
So, 150.
Yeah, we could do 152,899.
Yeah, last year
It was
we had X amount
160.
of dollars and we got more.
Well, last year,
It was
the
160.
legislature approved a second funding.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even in the article last year, it was 160.
I think that's an up to or something.
The sum of 160,000 for maintenance construction.
Yeah, that's just a,
Yeah.
if you look at the letter though, I don't think we received that much. Well, if you combine the two together, then when we got the two, it's double that.
Right.
Well, she's looking for that. You wanna look at the last three articles? Here she comes. Here she comes.
The other warrant article I wanna add on here is, copy whatever the warrant article was at the time to allow the selectmen to sell or do whatever with the old highway garage. Across the street from the fire
I
station.
know where you're at. I know, I'm just thinking, do we wanna sell that, or you guys at one time talked about buying on either side of it, so.
Well,
Right, and that, some conversation we had.
somebody has bought,
The big piece. The
Is
one,
that the
the
big
one
or
that's
the
been
small?
cleared.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I'm talking about the one on the other side, the one where they cleaned it up and then they left the shed there,
Yeah.
or the garage. Somebody bought that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone
right
bought
there.
that.
I don't know that anybody bought the one to the left. I saw a for sale sign, but I don't know that anybody
No.
bought that.
Yeah, no, someone did something with the, I think they have plans in their head. But they were getting
For the one to the right,
the one that's been cleared. I'm just,
the one on the corner.
Yeah.
the one with just a little shed is, they cleared all the,
Okay, that's different. When you say
Right.
cleared,
Yeah.
if you look to the left, where Tricknick Road is,
yeah,
they cleared the trees.
Right.
They're not,
yeah, thin that out.
okay, yeah.
No, I'm talking, I guess it used to be, what, Saris?
Yeah, well, that's something else we're gonna talk in non-public,
Okay.
so.
Well, I mean, my own thing is, anything that's stored in there, what's stored in there, and do we have any alternate place if
Well, I
something gets
remember-
stored in there?
Asking that to Meredith, and I was thinking she was using it, and she was saying,
They have
See what I
nothing.
can do with it.
Okay, then, yeah, I'd say let's put it on there, see if we can sell it.
Okay.
a second, just to think here a second. 5-ish, 2005. Looking at time frame for the warrant article that allowed the selectmen to sell or whatever the old highway garage, which is the property across the street from the fire station.
Okay.
We'd like to do that warrant article again.
So it didn't pass last time? or-
It did,
And then selectmen never sold it, and then somebody presented a warrant article to rescind that warrant article so that the selectmen couldn't sell it, and that one passed as well, so,
because we,
Starting over.
yeah.
yeah, we'll try it again. This time though, if it's gonna be sold, it should be done quickly.
Okay, I could not find the number on the household hazardous waste. I will find.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I'm in favor of it, just
Yeah.
Well, I am too, within a dollar limit. I mean, what have we spent, what's the last year's?
39.17.
So if we're within $4,500, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, okay.
So 3 yeses if it's less than 4,500.
Yes.
Was 30,
It was 39.17
39.70
or 39.something.
Okay.
PC optional tax credit, service connected, okay, these were the petition warrant articles. Which is, all three are for service personnel credits on the property taxes. Do you wanna do them individually, or?
Let me read them. I've read them a couple times, but the first one.
What, is there a
Yeah.
dollar amount on 22? Do you know?
Let me renumber these.
In the very last one, sorry.
21,
Yes.
shall have
Tax
it's
credit.
an optional tax credit for contents.
Did you vote on 19, 20, and 20? No, we're just trying to talk through them, just, cause there's no dollar value on 21, but,
It might be in that RSA.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'm not sure what,
Do you want me, I can grab one of the applications out of the lobby too, cause I think it,
shall the town go from increasing.
Let me just look this up. With this speedy Wi-Fi we have here. RSA 72.
So, it's an option, number 20, 21?
Yeah, so they can't do
Instead of-
both. They
Right.
can't do the veterans tax credit and the combat tax credit.
I'd like to
It
know
says
dollar
the
value.
standards,
Well.
the standard veteran tax credit shall be $50.
They're acting,
The optional veterans tax credit,
true.
upon adoption by a city or town pursuant to RSA 7227, shall be an amount from $51 up to $500. The optional veterans tax credit shall replace the standard veterans tax credit in its entirety and shall not be in addition thereto. So this petition warrant article doesn't have a dollar value.
Just taking the dollar value of the RSA, is that,
Well, no, because the RSA, well, let's see.
it says up
The
to
standard-
500, right?
Shall town adopt the provision of RSA 7228 C?
I can't.
I got a 7228. 28C. Optional tax credit for combat service. Shall be an amount from $50 up to $500. The tax credit for combat service shall be subtracted each year from the property tax on the qualifying service member's residential real estate as defined. So this one here should have had a dollar figure in there, which it doesn't.
Well, I wonder, you know, the regular statute regarding the veterans tax credit says you have to have served in these various qualifying conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
And, this one says serving, so it's not, this one
Oh,
is
wait a
for
minute though, is this one trying to pick up the National Guard, whereas this
Yes.
may not, this may have excluded them? No, qualified.
Oh, here comes
Person
mine.
shall be a resident of the state engaged in any contract.
You got some wording, Ron?
New Hampshire National
Awesome,
Guard.
thank you.
Thank you.
It's not that, I don't think you'll find that any of us are opposed to it, it's just we're looking for a dollar value, that's all.
Yeah, that's, I don't know why it wasn't, that's $500 on that.
Oh, okay. Not to,
Shall be an amount
Right.
from 50 up to $500.
Right, but it doesn't exclude the National Guard.
No, but you go service in a contingency operation as designated by the Department of Defense for which a service member receives special pay for duties subject to hostile fire or imminent danger as certified. So they can't collect. So what they're saying, so Ron, on this, all right, is this saying that right now members of the New Hampshire National Guard would not qualify for that?
Unless they're called up into a combat area.
But what I'm saying is, okay, so are New Hampshire National Guardsmen not normally allowed this? They have to be enlisted in the Army or?
They have, only thing I know about that, they have to be National Guard. If you're a National Guard, you get called to Iraq in a
combat
combat
zone.
area, you get $500, and when you come back, you don't get no more, that's it.
so as long as you're an active
Active duty in a combat area.
Okay.
That there is Senate Bill 511.
In other words, it's not even a law yet.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's a
became
law that
effective
was signed
January
on
1.
May 25th.
Right, to allow the towns to
To
do this.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
I found a figure 4156 for hazardous waste in 2118.
In 2018.
4156.
We're good at 45. We want to go 42.
I'll plug in the actual one.
Yeah, yeah. I think the town currently has veterans tax credits, do we not?
We do. But I think this adds a group of members into it. And to be
Well,
able,
we never had National Guard before, no.
no, but this is also a tax credit to somebody that is active, correct? It's not like yourself, you're not an active member, but you get a veteran's benefit, because you're a
Right.
veteran. This is giving a benefit to an active
Right.
serviceman.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you don't understand him, he has to be overseas.
Oh, no, I understand that, Ron, yeah, it's not just giving him a benefit because
Right,
he's in the National
right.
Guard, he has to be actively serving in the Guard in a hostile environment.
And that's right,
Mhm.
that's right.
Yep.
Okay. And then what the other one is this, again, as of January 1, 2019,
Right,
the amount, it used to be from $701 up to $2,000.
right,
It is now $701 up to $4,000
right.
on Article 19. So all these is as of January 1, 2019, all these have been, the amount has been
Change.
changed.
Right, but we don't
Increased.
have any of these in place. This,
But- It does say to increase, so So we must have something, and
Yeah,
then the other
we
ones.
have that in place here.
You have the veterans tax credit in place, my
Yeah.
husband gets it.
I thought.
The first two we have in place, but the
Right.
third
Right.
one
And
we
the next one,
don't.
it says, shall we
Right.
adopt,
Right.
so, yeah.
Yeah, because they vote to adopt.
Thank you, Ron.
And I'm thinking if we have something in place now,
We just don't have anything for active in hostile territory.
yeah. I wouldn't be in favor of 19 and 20, I'd be in favor of 21.
I agree with that.
I would be in favor of all of them, so.
What's 21?
That's the new one.
That's a new one.
So it's, two, which number comes first?
19 and 20 would be,
No,
19
the
and
two,
20 are
two,
not
one,
rec-
Or the 1 to 2?
It's one, it's, your favors are always first. So 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 0. What? That's what I did. I was the 1, 2, N,
Yeah.
1, 2, N,
Yeah.
3, 0, yes. Yeah.
It's like when you do dimensions, you know,
Yeah.
4 by 8, well, which way is the 4?
Right, that's it. I know. I always say, how big is that? 36 by 24 by 12. Which
How big
one's
is
the
that?
wide? Like, could you, like, I don't need a 36-inch deep cabinet, you know.
So we should have a meeting tonight.
Maybe.
so that's it?
You are having a meeting. It was posted.
I know, but it's
You
Only
have
two
three,
of us
you
here.
have 3.
all three. Are you a voting?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's see, I'm in a quandary now. 'Cause you proposed something and we created something.
It's conflicted.
So,
Well,
right.
I didn't think he was a, I thought he
Yeah,
was
but
like
you-
ex officio. or something,
No.
Because
No,
he's
he's-
on the board of selectmen, it's kind of conflicting, but,
So,
so we didn't talk, we didn't include him in?
Well, you're leaving them, so.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't
but
know them nothing.
even last year, I think you
You know that
Either-
road up the
either-
street?
either you abstained or you
I didn't-
you
I sided with the side of the selectmen because that's the budget we put
Right.
together and proposed.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, it was so far
Oh,
apart,
right,
one to
yeah.
the other, that I mean, how could I have decided with
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
but this one, we're within 15 grand, but I will make a decision when we, come to a meeting
Thursday,
Thursday.
that's what we're looking
Can you do Thursday?
Thursday, this Thursday, what time?
look on your calendar.
Well, I'm looking at my calendar. Mine's got nice big numbers.
Okay, that's the current one.
So, yeah,
Thursday's the 10th.
the 10th.
Because we have to vote on these two before them.
Right.
Next
We'll
month,
give Carla
next
time
What,
to
what
get it
time are you,
on
Well, I'm
paper.
thinking 6, but I pinged Jim to see when he's available to call in. And
Okay.
Pat's available all day Thursday, she's working local. So,
'cause I have a meeting to attend at 6:30 on Thursday. And it has another finance meeting, but,
it's really just to
Right.
finalize.
yeah, we could do it.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
It's really dependent.
5:30, is that,
I mean, that's fine, if it's
if
fine. with
Jim's
Jim.
available?
Yeah.
And Mr. Doyle, so I'm okay with 5:30,
Mhm.
yeah.
So not a joint meeting,
Not a joint.
just a budget committee meeting.
You are
Are
correct.
you available to take minutes, or we'll appoint somebody to take minutes?
I think so, but
If you're
I'll have
not-
to look at my calendar.
If you're not, they can appoint you to take them.
I don't think we need this, because that's just what they've invested in, it doesn't break it out by fund.
And then you said we'll have at least one more in there to sell the highway garage.
So how do you contact you?
And you're in favor of that, Jay?
I just emailed.
I am, yeah.
All right, so I was at 3-0 as well.
Article 22?
It was the highway garage.
Right.
Yeah, we said 3-0.
John and I
yes.
already voted.
Yeah, we voted, and we put you down as a yes.
Put me as a yes.
Yeah, we put you as a yes.
Where's Article 22?
It's in David's head.
It's right
now.
here.
Yeah.
That's the one to sell the highway garage that we just talked about.
Oh,
You did hear that, right?
But
Does that money?
What's that?
Does
no,
that money?
No,
no, and that's it. So you really won't. You don't really. You only have to vote on the ones that are dollar value.
the highway garage down there,
Yeah.
Correct.
The old highway garage.
but don't you still keep the salt and the sand down
We do, but
At this
this plan is to put the salt, a new salt shed over here.
there? Over here?
Over here.
Up on the hill behind building 2.
There's a hill.
But there's residences back
Is what?
there.
We
There's
own-
residences on Thayer Road that are back there.
Their road's
No,
over
they're-
there.
They're so far away that
This, you know, we've got like 10 acres of land here, right?
at least, I think
No.
it's closer to
No,
14.
Yeah. It's kind of looks like this. This,
I know, because mine looks like that on Thayer Road, so.
this would be closer to Appleton Road if I were to venture a guess, because
road they're gonna pave.
it goes out that way.
I don't
There's
know what
2
you're talking
building
about.
foundations that are out there.
Which one?
And Peter was thinking of using, it's a foundation with a slab, but
Better.
maybe
Doing that
putting
one.
it
than
there or
the one that's
Oh,
different
money.
options.
That one, I drove it the other
Do
day.
you have a guidance, a perspective?
It's more to maintain it. Now it's a straight paved road. It doesn't turn to
Will
dirt.
somebody have to clean that
Good
all
with
up,
that.
like is there
Voting against
remediation
that
have to be done?
Nobody. I have a
I'd
real
like to
hard
see the
time
building
spending
demo down.
when we still have feeder
No, but I
roads
mean,
that haven't been
like
touched, and we're gonna feed it, and we're gonna do a cul-de-sac that never should have been accepted.
I understand the
Because of all
argument.
that stuff that's still there.
You know something I don't know?
So, we're gonna discuss roads, bring it up.
Little salt, sand, and then you
Like
have
it's
the
on
highway
the
garage there with leaky trucks and all that stuff.
Leaky trucks, you don't have leaky trucks, the oldest truck down is an '08 pickup truck.
No,
Fleet down there is
she
brand new.
is referring to the old highway garage,
Yeah.
back in the day.
I think we'll talk about that.
So,
Forget how long I've lived here.
So we're done with budget stuff?
yes,
So something is gonna go in Article 3 regarding zoning?
yeah.
Something.
I don't know if you saw in the paper today,
No.
posted in there for,
That lying paper? Your whole employees all in a
This
busy.
is, it's fake news, it's fake news.
I don't think they do it intentionally.
No.
Yeah. We're talking about the ones for the planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's
I don't know where
like
she got
4
it.
different things.
Her family very well, and she is a lovely girl,
I know there's a public hearing on the
but there she.
subdivision regulations, which is not a warrant article.
Right.
As far as zoning,
Debbie said it was like administrative in nature, it was correcting a reference or something.
Yeah, we reference.
oh,
it's-
for the town excavation regulations.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah,
that was, yeah,
yeah.
it's in the paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a big one.
It's just that our zoning ordinance now references a publication that's no longer
Yeah.
there.
There are no non-lapsing warrant articles?
Well, the non-lapsing one is the, well, no, we've got a date on it for the road.
And those,
That's what I was gonna ask, is why are we going so far out on that? Is there a, you just
I
cut
just
and
copied,
paste?
yeah.
Yeah. Although 2023 is not really that far away now.
Amazing.
We're set with a warrant.
Yep.
The budget we'll wait to hear back on.
for the hearing, do you present more than essentially the cover sheet? I mean, you don't drill down into the,
No, at the deliberative session that we will. Actually,
At the budget, they
at
give
the budget
everything?
hearing, they do get the breakdown, which is what,
The deliberative session, they get this.
hang on, at both,
They get
at
everything.
both the budget hearing and at the deliberative session, we give them the budget, which has it all broken down.
Well, that's
More than that,
The line items.
Line item.
yeah,
for the entire budget.
I'm pretty sure we
How
do,
do we
yes.
give them that?
It's a handout, normally we leave them right on top of that metal table so that when they come in, they get
You're
copies.
gonna generate that,
Sure.
or am I gonna print it at home?
No,
So that's why you have to get it, that's why we have to get it to her.
Yeah, because
she's
that's
gotta
what
get
gets
them
put into
done.
that BMSI software system here,
She's gotta load it in BMSI and then spit it back out.
correct.
Mhm.
Now,
You're
can
working
you
Friday,
import
right?
this?
Of course.
She's working.
Can you import this into
Yeah.
that?
Nope,
You can't
What?
import an Excel sheet into that software?
no.
That's-
But I've already
Can't be right.
inputted the department head's requests, the select board's
She
revised.
just needs to
I
plug
just
in your
need to do
numbers.
your column, and the default budget column. So, yeah.
Which is, you actually have default budget column,
And
it's
it's-
2018, isn't it?
Minus any.
Cause you gotta minus the
Minus
one
And
time,
so that percent of increase, decrease numbers, now those,
don't worry about those,
okay, because they were, some of them screwed up, right?
really?
I fixed them
You fixed it?
after.
After I
Yeah.
remember?
Bless you.
Oh, okay.
I'll go in and just copy the cell and put all the right comments in it.
Well, but even so, they're to your budget,
No.
not to ours, or are they,
I'm gonna
which one are they gonna
change
be to?
all of them
Oh,
before Thursday.
okay.
It's ours, it's all ours. He's not even coming to the meeting.
Theirs.
When is that meeting?
You'd be out of town.
What is the date for that?
The budget hearing?
Next
The
week?
budget hearing,
Next
Fif-
Tuesday.
fif-
Next Tuesday.
15th.
Next Tuesday?
You're holding the bond hearing.
Yeah, the bond hearing's
Yeah,
before.
so you need
That's
to be
another
there.
vote I got with you. How come you guys got to go before the budget hearing?
Cause that way we can leave.
No, that way, because it impacts the warrant, right?
It just makes sense to have it all the
Oh,
same night, you know?
The people
Well,
that come
all
for the
it
second
makes
meeting, we
sense all
wanna
the
make
same
sure
night,
we
but
hold
you
them on the
could have
first
budget
meeting.
hearing first, and then theirs, because
I
theirs
need
is
an
gonna be long.
electronic copy
What are we
of
gonna
the warrants to be able to send
for
to
that?
Jim Hicks,
Okay,
so that he can have something to
Yeah.
look at.
Yeah,
and
what-
vote
what
on
are we gonna do?
Tuesday night.
okay.
You gotta speak when the people come.
I say, Mr. Lage has done a lot of hard work and he would be more than happy to explain this to you.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
just got
what
one
John
slide
said.
says I defer to this.
No, I mean, I have no problem.
Well, we're only
I
gonna
mean,
speak to the,
yes, yes, yeah.
I mean,
What
I'd
I'm thinking
definitely
is
speak
maybe
to
I
it.
can get that plan onto a board. Cause one of the things I want, and I emphasized it when I spoke with, Ashley today, are things that some people may not recognize, i.e. the conference room that's supposed to be used for the community service also. The additional lot that comes as part of that parcel, things to show that, you know, it gives the town a little more flexibility in the future. But I need to
yeah,
make sure you guys
yeah,
are
no, no.
chiming in on,
Well, I mean, like I said, I've been saying it, I mean, even when we talked about the one a couple years ago, it's, you know, everyone's like, oh, well, just put them somewhere else. Where? Where are you gonna, where, right now, if you looked, where is there another spot for a police station to rent? And you hope,
We've been renting and
Right.
kicking the can down the road for 30 years. It just,
you know, and we pay X
Enough.
number a month, we could get a new landlord, they could raise it. Any place we go to rent, you don't know what you're gonna get for a lease. We're on borrowed time with that building.
the other point, I was trying to get with Ashley, is she was saying, well, why does the building need to be renovated? And reminding them that that building was constructed as a medical office building with exam rooms, which really aren't conducive for a
Yeah,
police station.
I mean, we've already had one emergency in there, in the current. So you take that and, I mean, you're just asking, yeah, it definitely has to be renovated. I mean, again, we've been borrowing spaces around town that have never been built as a police. I mean, they used to be over in the bank, the old bank. which is,
On Main Street,
yeah, which is,
When was that ever a bank? That was the old town hall I
it
knew.
was bad.
Really?
yeah,
When? Before the town hall?
Yes.
yes, yeah, cause, they,
Wait a minute, you were in Louisiana. I don't
No.
believe you. Tell
No.
me about this, Jay.
yeah, no,
Was
they,
it?
yeah, cause they
Strap
got,
yourself in, it's
they
right on
actually,
the way
they
back
actually had,
machine.
they cracked, the old vault was still in there, cracked the door open, because at some point, someone had closed the door and spun it
And locked it.
and locked
Talking
it.
about the brick building, two houses down from the Pizza Haven, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a police station.
The
Yeah.
brick building.
but it
not-
was,
it's not-
No, this is a
No.
wooden building.
It's not brick.
it's not, yeah, it's a
brick.
wooden,
Oh, I thought
it's
it was
a
a
wooden.
tiny building.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little tiny
By,
thing. When I first moved to town, that's where the
You're
police
thinking the
station was.
historical society's
Oh,
building.
It's
yeah,
the
that's
building-
No,
building.
beside the Grange, or.
The
Yeah.
building this
next-
side of the grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the Grange.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I first moved to
Yeah.
town, that was a
That
police
was Ray
station.
Broadley's police
Yeah.
station.
Right,
Right.
that I
then
remember. I
before
don't
that-
remember it as a bank.
It was a bank.
It was a bank before that.
Yeah.
Before the
PM.
police station, it was
Yeah,
the town
because I-
office.
Because I think the people
So
now,
before the town office, that's where the town office was when I moved to town.
if I remember right, I think it was an old, like, I think the bank was kind of, like, the safe was built into the wall, and then they kind of built around it, so that the people now, they put a door on it, and that's like their coat closet or whatever, and you
Oh, they
walk
got it
in.
open?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
right after, it was either when we owned it as a police station or something, they hired someone to come out and crack the door open, and see if there was actually any,
I remember the
there was
safety
nothing.
in there.
yeah, they said there was nothing in it,
Yeah, I don't.
but that
Anyhow.
was big news.
Yeah. I
Look
didn't
that
know
up in the
that
Ledger
was a bank.
transcript, yeah.
I didn't know it was a bank.
Yeah.
I have to have my wife do some investigative work on it.
Yeah, as I said, I think, I mean, it was news in the paper.
All right.
When would this, if this police thing goes, when?
If or when it goes. When it goes. When it goes.
When,
Yeah.
when would it go? Like,
Uh,
'cause, I mean, he's got patience, so it's not gonna happen. He needs probably time, a year or
Right.
two.
no. He needs time, but it's not a year or two.
6 months, I thought.
I can't remember what it was.
We were in non-public during those discussions.
Never mind.
Okay.
I just told Ashley that we'd have to negotiate with the tenants if the article,
Yeah,
when the article
yeah.
is approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think if we didn't, we did seal the
We did
minutes.
specify.
We did, yeah,
Mhm.
but we sealed the
But-
minutes, so.
Yeah.
That kind of information, because we were in non-public, we're not
No,
allowed
that's fine.
to. But there is a duration of time, and we looked at it as a board, as that gives us a window of opportunity to get drawings done
Contract.
and things lined up during that time. It's not years.
Speaking of non-public, during the budget hearing, some stipends, it's obvious who it belongs to, because there's only one person, for example. And that salary information can that be discussed in public? You know what I
No,
mean?
compensation for people was discussed in non-public.
I understand, but
So, I
it's
mean, you-
in the budget.
Right, you can talk about there were
Some
increase,
departments have one person, so that salary is that stipend is that person.
You're not
Yeah.
you're not getting away from that.
Right.
Yeah.
but as far as other ones that aren't, no,
Oh,
you
some
don't,
public,
you don't disclose individual.
Right, well, larger departments, it's all rolled up, so.
Right.
All right, moving along, if we're set with budget,
Yep.
warrant articles. I would like to, let's talk about the roads for paving in 2019.
Mhm.
Well, we want to go beyond the intersection of Hughes Road on Timber Top. We stopped,
Okay, let's start.
So we need to finish Timber Top.
Finish Timber Top.
right, we stopped about
Right.
50 yards short of where we wanted to be.
Whatever that length of
Right.
road,
it's
I
a-
call it a cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
but that,
It's a four-way intersection with Hughes and Willard Farm Road.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then top the rest of it as
Then
well.
top from
wherever it stopped.
Right. And then
So
that's
that-
why I write finished timber top, that's
Yeah.
the top
That's
coat,
goal number one.
including, intersection at Hughes. And, that's Old Willard Road, right?
Willard Farm Road,
Willard Farm. Old Willard Farm?
Willard Farm Road, Old Willard Road.
No, just Willard.
Willard Farm.
Yeah, Jim, pretty sure it's just Willard Farm Road.
Willard Farm, okay. That one and
All right.
County or Country Road is the two that
Yeah.
get me. Appleton,
I would think that should probably be at the top of the list, yes. It's been pushed off numerous times now.
it's okay. Malt House,
No, I'm not in favor of Malthouse.
I drove Malthouse the other day, and that road is absolute junk. I don't know how we could continue to maintain it,
We have,
even if we continued to shim it.
we have feeder roads that we have not touched,
Okay,
and we're
what-
fixing a
what?
cul-de-sac.
What do you got?
what feeder road
Yeah,
is on your list?
We got, I'm gonna say, I mean, we still got Hubbard Pond, that's coming out of Mass, off of 119, people are still using that. Even with Timber Top being paved, Massachusetts plates all day long through that, on that road.
So you wanna put a toll booth?
well.
That'd be great,
I look
if we
at it
could,
this
and
way,
pay
right?
for it.
I mean, if it's people that are using it for a cut-through from Massachusetts, I
Let
don't
him
need
wreck
to
that
ever
car,
pay.
it's speed bumps.
Cause the other two that I have on the list was Ken and Gibbs. Because those were,
Promised 20 years ago.
and assessed, and I haven't had time to look up, but I was curious to see how much they were assessed
Mhm.
as a betterment improvement
Right,
to get that paved, and it never got done.
right. There'd have to be some work done on Gibbs going down the hill, and on that corner. That would be,
Well, it's all in that of just putting
Yeah.
drainage in.
yeah, it
You know,
Yeah,
definitely is.
Ken and Gibbs, I don't have problems with, cause it's a cut through. These are roads that you're getting from one road to another road, it's cutting through, it's feeding other roads. I have a hard time prioritizing cul-de-sacs.
So, okay, so you move Malt House
Now,
down,
I was going to a different road. Was it good for a
Go,
okay.
yeah.
Lower Ashby Road. From Mountain View out, there's a section of it that was done probably 10 years ago. And then there's a section that was done within the last 3 or 4.
You talking
But
heading
neither one of them were
heading towards
top.
Mason Road?
Yes, I don't believe Lower Ashby Road from the Whittemore Hill area out was ever topped. I believe it might be 1.5 inches of pavement out there.
Peter had told me after Mountain View, I think it is, there was a section that hadn't been done.
Okay, so that's the section I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Beat
and
up
I-
pretty bad.
Be honest with you, I did drive it. Say, well, you know, yes, it will need to be done at some point,
Mhm.
but when I look at it and I say prioritize, really wasn't too bad. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but also Lower Ashby Road, though, if we don't top it, we're gonna lose the 250,000 we spent on it in the last
Well, I
4
don't think
years.
that the area that I'm
No, that
thinking about
section
was
you're
ever
talking
done.
about, no, it hasn't
Yeah,
been done.
okay.
But what I'm saying, if we're gonna be over there to do it, then we might as well
Top the other.
top the other portion of it, but that's a major throughway there. I don't know what is there for base, but I know it was never topped.
So, put that ahead of Appleton?
No.
I do.
I'd put it ahead of Hubbard Pond, yes.
Hubbard Pond hasn't made the list
Oh.
yet.
No, I'm not holding the pen, so he won't even write it. It's fine.
Put an H.
Thanks.
Actually, if we're going to do it, it should be done ahead of Appleton, because we've already spent a couple $100,000 on it, and I'd hate to
Yeah.
see us lose that money
Yeah.
we've already got invested in.
Yeah, I'd put Lower Ashby on there.
At least find out what's there for base. If there's a 3-inch base, then I guess you don't need to top it, but I don't believe there is.
I gotta be, after all the years, I remember when we did, the upper end of Ashby Road. It was yay thick with 12 inches of material under that, with another paved road under that.
We ran into the same thing on Dark Lane. That was incredible. 'Cause
Dark Lane?
that used to be the old, Davis Village Road. Before the Dark
Yeah,
Lane section
yeah,
where you had to come through
yeah,
the corners,
yeah.
when we paved that, they were grinding down this far and it was still pavement. So anyway,
So,
but Timber Top would be, we know
Timber
it's
Top, then
Yeah.
we do Lower Ashby,
I would look hard at Lower Ashby, yeah.
then Appleton,
He hasn't replied yet.
Then Ken Gibbs.
It's,
then
Yeah, if you're gonna be over there doing Appleton, you might as well put Kenny Gibbs on the
Yeah.
same schedule.
And what I'm gonna ask Peter to do is, measure these all up and find out how far we can get
Sure.
with that.
Yeah,
Uh,
One of Jim Kim.
I'd like
I don't
to,
recall that.
No.
that red folder with the,
But the other one I would say that,
non-public.
to look
Yeah.
at, again, as a
Same
cut
thing.
through, is,
Are you gonna do
Willard.
that right now?
Yeah, but not,
No,
Meryl's gonna have to step out.
Oh,
is it a, is it a
I
scenic?
think you have seen it.
Hey, we're in a meeting.
Yeah, I think,
I'm replying to their sidebar.
we can talk, but I believe it's seen.
Is it? Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to go
Before
into
you
a
do
non,
that, David, I just wanna clarify that date that I gave people to sign up for elected positions. It is January 23rd to February 1st. I know we were all talking at the same time, so I didn't know if it got lost in translation, but it's January 23rd to February 1st to sign up for any elected positions. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to go into non-public session under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2C, matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person, et cetera, et cetera.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?